Wimbledon is over and Jannik Sinner wins again. It's back-to-back titles at Wimbledon on the grass. No Carlos Alcaraz, and he is cleaning up. On the women's, Linda Noskova, my favourite woman right now. I've got her inside my top 10. She's my dark horse, and we're going to be speaking about both champions.
Wimbledon is over, ladies and gentlemen, and the grass court swing ends with Jannik Sinner, back-to-back champion, and a new champion on the women's. We had both of the Czechs going head-to-head. It wasn't Mukova's time, but it was Linda Noskova's time. And I think we got to start with today's match first, because it finished just a couple of hours ago, and Jannik Sinner, well, another Grand Slam title. He was the favourite coming in. He was expected to get to the final. He was expected to win the whole thing. And I said, Sinner in 4, losing a tiebreak in the first set. Not a bad prediction, but I think probably a lot of other people would have had Sinner in 4 as well. It's not that much of a big one.
Yeah, I don't want to diminish it, because I know earlier offline we was texting and you was telling me, I had such a great prediction. Of course, I didn't get the chance to vocalize mine on a podcast. I did send you a text before in my defense saying Sinner in 4, so you've got that as evidence.
Sinner in 4.
However, I didn't say that I believed Zverev would have won the first set, because for me, I didn't say tiebreak. I was confident it was going to be a really tight first set. Tiebreak being the most obvious thing, or a 7-5, and then I felt like Jannik Sinner would get into the match and win it, and it happened exactly how you said it and how I thought it would go. The one thing maybe which impressed me more than what I was expecting was Zverev's performance, because he played better than I was expecting in them following 3 sets. I knew he was going to come good for a set or two. I didn't expect him to come good for every single set. I don't think he really had a bad set. The big turning point was when he slipped over in the match, clutched at his knee. I don't think it was an injury as such. I feel like mentally in his head, because of what's happened to him on a tennis court in the past, especially the big one at Roland Garros against Nadal with his ankle, I think it was in his mind more than anything, and that's what disrupted him and took him off his rhythm. Serving-wise, he was brilliant, found some great winners at times, and he went toe-to-toe with Jannik Sinner. I feel like Jannik Sinner had spells of his pure brilliance and magic, but there was, I still think, maybe not the best version of Jannik Sinner. I think we've seen a better version of him before, and that should be very scary for everyone else on the tour, because as much as Zverev has gained a lot of confidence after winning Roland Garros, people are now saying, has he closed the gap? Is he there as a new big 3 and making it competitive, which it looks like he has been? I still think if Alcaraz and Sinner are playing their very best and playing back to where I think they can be, he doesn't have a chance. And I'm going to double down on that one. However, today was a very close match in all of the sets. And there we go. Fifth career Grand Slam title, first this year. He's won 37 of his last 38 matches. I mean, the one he lost, did he really lose it if it wasn't for his body collapsing? And it's fascinating to see, because he's catching up with Carlos Alcaraz, who I believe has got 7 slams.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I've got a little graphic for that one as well. Just show that these two keep raising the bar. Yeah, 5 Grand Slams for Jannik Sinner now. And Australian Open last year, not last year, in 2024 was when he got his first Grand Slam title. And just 2 years later, he's already on number 5. Could have a chance for a US Open as well coming up just in a couple of months' time. He's back to his best. We can see like how that Roland Garros was a complete freak thing that happened. He could have gone on and won it. We saw how close he was to beating Carlos Alcaraz in the final the year before. And this is what we were expecting in Roland Garros happened in Wimbledon. He's expected to win it. He goes on. He wins it. The closest he looked to possibly losing was in the first match of Wimbledon. And he went to 5 with Kecmanovic. Other than that, didn't really look troubled throughout the whole tournament. I think Zverev was very good today. I think he played some fantastic tennis. Showed that his serving is probably, if not the best, probably top 2 on tour. I think Jannik Sinner's very high up there as well with accuracy of serving. But I just think he held his nerve a lot better. That's the slip was very significant. I think his mental edge was lost in that moment, and that
Lost
was the
his
one thing.
focus. He lost his
Yeah,
focus big time.
I think he was really in the match. He was in the match mentally. That was the one thing that I was really thinking. Oh, he's changed the mentality. But as soon as that slip happened, it seemed the mentality went away, and Jannik Sinner got stronger and stronger. And especially in the business end, the second set, Sinner closed out that tiebreak and looked very, very good. He thought, I'll put an extra 10% on every shot now, and I'm going to go for winners. Zverev didn't look like he could hang with Sinner when he was playing his best tennis today. That was my opinion. I think Sinner didn't look his best in the first set. I don't think that takes away from Zverev's performance, but there were a lot of unforced errors, hitting in the net, going wide, and I think he dialed it in, brought it slightly inside the tram lines, inside the baseline, just went with a bit more pace on his shots. And Zverev, yeah, he was still good, but just not good enough, unfortunately, against the number one.
Yeah, and he's back up to his career high of number 2 in the world. He's never been world number 1. Whether he ever will be, I'm not sure, because there's a 5,000 point difference between second and first in Jannik Sinner, which is insane. Wow. Alcaraz drops to 3 in the world. But Sinner, what I wanted to really highlight in his performance today was just how quick he was around the court. We do talk about it a lot, but just there was one rally where I think his knees touched the grass about 3 or 4 times, and he still won the point. He was sliding around, gets to every drop shot. He's a very, very, very good tennis player. Jannik Sinner is an athlete, and all that skiing helps because he does slalom around the tennis courts at times, and you can see that you can picture him on the slopes, the way he moves. I don't really know what more to say about Jannik Sinner as a man, as a player. We've seen him now and the level he does bring. He'll be favourite for every single slam pretty much, apart from Roland Garros, for the next few years. The big thing I feel like is we talk about how he's on 5 slams. We look at the list with Djokovic at the top at 24. Everyone needs to don't get too carried away, myself included, because you don't know who's going to arrive these next few years. It could be a name we're not speaking about at all. It could be like a Hadar or a Fonseca, or it could be anyone really. And they will, I believe, snatch titles away from your Sinners, your Alcarazes. And I have a really strong feeling that will happen because Hadar is ridiculously good. And I think he come from nowhere. Who's to say there's not going to be another person like that? Or even Hadar himself, who just develops and take some of these big matches.
Yeah, don't forget this tournament we have seen a breakout star from Britain. So Arthur Ferry made it to a semi-final of a slam. Will he do anything on the other surfaces? Don't know.
I don't think he's a breakout star.
But different surfaces have different styles of stars that could emerge. And I think grass and a British player makes sense. I think maybe the clay, Hadar, makes sense. Fonseca, clay, makes sense. Some of the other surfaces, maybe on hard court, we're going to see a different player come to the forefront that, like you said, we don't know yet. There could be someone who comes to challenge Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Zverev, who knows? Maybe on the hard court, he's going to fancy his chances as well, because I think that I think he's made real growth. I think that's the one key thing after winning Roland Garros. When he played against Jannik Sinner, it wasn't like in the Australian Open final where he got absolutely just destroyed. This one was a real competitive final for as long as it lasted. If he didn't have the slip, I mean, with the grass, you saw Jannik Sinner, he slipped over a few times as well. And it's not just Zverev who slipped over, but Jannik Sinner sort of styles them out, doesn't he? He slips, then he comes back and he scampers, and Zverev slips, and it's like he's, like blown a gasket or something. I don't know. He's just fallen over and it's dramatic. A bit like Djokovic when he goes down. But when Sinner falls down, it's like he wants to instantly get back up and try and continue the rally. Yeah, it was a very, very entertaining match. That was the main thing. Jannik Sinner, he's now received £3.6 million in Champions Prize money as well. Not too bad, is it, for a couple of weeks' work?
Yeah, and Sin Alcaraz has dominated centre court these last 4 years. We had Alcaraz in 23, Alcaraz 24, now Sinner back to back. It's a shame, I do think, that the fact that we don't get the matchup with Alcaraz and Sinner. And a little word on Alcaraz. It's funny because I know he's not playing at the moment, but I feel like we need to talk about him. I've seen him trying to recover, and a wrist injury is a really tough injury to come back from. We've seen many players never recover and never come back. Dominic Thiem being one of the more recent ones, and I'm just hoping that we can see him hitting the tennis ball again. I've seen him on a court, but he's not hitting the balls. And I tell you, who wants him more than anyone, Jannik Sinner, because I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks for a Jannik Sinner will be not having someone like a Carlos Alcaraz playing with him. We saw what happened with, was it McEnroe and Borg? I think it's very important to have real top athletes pushing you along to keep constantly improving. And I know there could be someone else who arrives, but Carlos Alcaraz is someone who's already here, and we need him, I think, helping to push Jannik Sinner on. And that's when we see some of the best matches. I love watching Alcaraz and Sinner play, especially at Wimbledon. And I think that's something what we missed out on this year.
Yeah, we definitely did. I just think that you could be right. Like the level of Sinner just gets stuck at this current level potentially if he just doesn't have that type of competition. Alcaraz will always be improving, pushing Sinner to improve each time. Now, how far can Zverev push Jannik Sinner? I don't think that Sinner improved his game at all this tournament to have to win Wimbledon. I think it
No.
was standard Sinner. I don't even think we saw the best Sinner in this
No,
Wimbledon.
I don't think so either. I think there's a better level, and Zverev, we saw some of the best from him, and
Yeah,
it still wasn't enough. So,
agreed.
yeah, that's my thoughts on that. We'll come back to this, but let's go to the women's quickly because Noskova, we had a Czech final. I didn't call it as much as before the tournament. You can go back to the draw reaction. I was bigging up Linda Noskova. I was saying how I think she can go on and win this whole thing. She's the one to watch. She was really good in the build-up events. Only 21 years old.
Yeah.
Quite a quiet girl, very emotional after the passing of her mum, which I think has been quite recent. You see her
Years
looking
ago.
up to the sky, and yeah, I thought she was the far better player against Mukova in this final, but she almost choked massively. It would have been one of the biggest chokes I've seen in recent times. Was unable to serve it out. I mean, 5-2 up was a dangerous score. She ended up losing the second set 7-5.
Yeah.
She was just far better than Mukova as well, and it's just completely throwing it away. Lost the ability to hit the ball, lost confidence in herself, and it was really horrible to watch.
The dreaded
She was
5-2.
Well, she was putting her hands to her ears, trying to cover, like, block out the sound of the crowd. She put herself inside the towel and was hiding away, had to go off court. When she come back on, she steadied it a little bit, but I was worried that it was going to happen again at 5-2 again, but luckily she was able to close it out this time. She's an excellent tennis player, someone who's very good on the grass. She was taking some of Mukova's serves really early, just closing off the angle of the court, hitting some really thunderous winners down the line. And she's a player I think can do it on all the surfaces, who will be in the top 10 for many years to come, and who has the ability to now win Grand Slams. We've seen it. She's just won Wimbledon. And I think she's with only being 21 years old, this is only the beginning, really.
Definitely. 21. What a talent as well. I think that it was just so important that after obviously having all of those match points, how many was it? It was 5, wasn't it? 5 match points she had over the course of those 3 games. What was it? 5-2, 5-3, and 5-4, I believe. So have all of those match points and then lose the set from 5-2 up. I know I've been there, lost from 5-2 up many times, and then did the best thing she could have done. She went off court, had the bathroom break, emotional reset. Apparently, on her way off, she saw both the champions Venus Rosewater dish and the smaller runner-up trophy, and she later explained that seeing the trophies motivated her to start that match again mentally rather than dwell on the 5 lost championship points. So that was her approach coming in to the final set. It was like restarting as set 1 again, which I think just brilliant mentality. I mean, from such a young player to not think about, you just had 5 championship points in the Wimbledon final, and you just lost all of them to a much more experienced player who you know very well. It's from a
Well,
countrywoman.
who's very dangerous as well. As much as Mukova, I don't
Yeah.
think was at the level of Noskova for most of it. She's got a great level in there. She's an excellent
Yes.
tennis player. Natural ability so high, and you don't want to give her an inch because she will take it. She's
We
she's
saw
one
it
of
in the
these players
semis.
who's she is a very good player, Mukova. So that just highlights, I think, how good Linda is.
Yeah, I mean, she did it to Coco Gauff, and we all thought, is this happening again? Is Mukova going to turn the tables from match point down again? But yeah, credit to Noskova. She just came out, and it was just consistency began again. More power, more consistency. Her serve looked better again. And she was just protecting herself in important moments rather than just going for everything crazily. She blocked out the crowd, blocked out the moment, and yeah, she was just able to just get it done in this set. It was like she was playing the first set all over again. Very, very, she should have been done in straight sets, Mukova. Credit to her for
Well,
fighting back, but
it
I
was a
think
very sorry.
go on. Yeah,
No, I was going to say it's a very dominant tournament from her,
yeah.
extremely, because she was on track to win the Wimbledon title, dropping some of the least amounts of games ever in the Open era. Serena Williams did it in 2012 with 66 games, Rebecca 67 in 22, Martinez in 94, 69, Noskova was 71. However, she did drop 5 right at the end when probably she shouldn't have. So she was on track to get the record too of least games dropped. She's been very dominant through this tournament, winning sets easily. To do that in your first ever slam victory is insane. And I think having sometimes when you've had a loved one who's departed and no longer with you, I think sometimes you can use that as extra fuel. And everyone in life will have someone who's passed away at some stage in their life, and you can always use that as like a extra bit of energy in tough moments, whether that's in sport, life, or wherever you can use it. I think it's a superpower which people should harness more, because it's difficult. Sometimes it's really tough to do, but I feel maybe that did give her that extra edge to get this one over the line, because it could have easily gone very much southwards after what happened in the second set.
Yeah, not only in this match either, because if we rewind back to the third round, she saved match point against Solana Castella as well. So, and I think that she's now joined, it says here, Venus Williams in 2005 and Serena in 2009 for winning the tournament after saving a match point during the tournament as well. So, great company to be in. Serena and Venus Williams, 2 absolute legends of the sport. And she's got a name in there in the mix with 2 of the best to ever do it. Absolutely fantastic grass court swing for her. I mean, doesn't get much better, does it? 1 Berlin, 1 Wimbledon, and now she can have a little break, surely, and then plan a hardcourt tournament ahead of the US Open. Just
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, in the live rankings, she's career high of 7 right now. Mukova is 6.
Wow.
So she's in front of her, which is crazy. I don't know how it's looking for you for your top 10, but for me, it's not terrible. Naomi Osaka, of course, picked up some extra points. Iga is in danger of falling outside the top 10.
Oh, wow.
She's 8th at the moment.
That is a shocker. And in the race, she is 11th at the
Yeah.
moment. So Mira Andreeva leading the race currently.
Where's Rebecca
Sabalenka
now?
Rybakina in third at the
Oh,
moment in the race.
okay.
Svitolina fourth, Pegula fifth, Mukova sixth, Goff in seven, Kostyuk 8, and Boko 9, and Kostaya making up the top 10. Noskova in 12th, just behind Iga. But she keeps playing like that. I mean, she'll be pushing her way inside the top 10 very, very soon, I'm sure. Absolutely just an incredible, incredible tennis player. And I think this is just the start. 21 years old, if you've already done this, I know that we always say, oh, there's the odd like shock Wimbledon champion, but I think that she can do it on more surfaces than just the grass. Like we know that she's good on the clay already. I'd like to see more from her on the hard courts, but I think she's got the game to do it everywhere. I think she was just lacking maybe a little bit of self-belief maybe in previous tournaments, that now she's a Grand Slam champion. She's
I
going to
think
be
it's
better.
I think it's just experience. You just need
Yeah.
experience doing things, and then it just helps. Like it's only 21, not played enough Grand Slam tennis to get into the groove of it. Going back to Sinner, a good experience for him now is how he, in this tournament, of course, he went to 5 sets during it in the first round,
Yep.
went on to win, and he's the first person to do that since and win the title since Rafael Nadal, Roland Garros in 2011. And I think that has been the best thing for Jannik Sinner this tournament. The fact that he's shown that he can go deep in matches and still win them. He's also been able to show that he can bounce back from the problems that happened in Paris with the heat. It's been very hot in London this week. And he was able to perfectly physically turn up without any Jannik Sinner issues. So he will be over the moon, I think, with that more so than the way his tennis was.
Yeah, definitely made some progress. I heard in some interviews that he said that that's one of the main things. Ever since Roland Garros, the team has had a dramatic focus, obviously, on him dealing with heat. But I think that what people probably forget, that he was actually not well as well during Roland Garros. It wasn't just the heat. He did have, like, he woke up, didn't he? He said, I just felt like really off. Like, and he's not one probably to make excuses. He would still fight until the end, and he still played to the end of the match against Cerundolo as well. Still lost, and it was a bit of a went out with a whimper. But he doesn't really just give up in matches. He doesn't retire unless he has to. We saw him in a final retire against Alcaraz, which that was a bit shocking. It was like 5-love down or something, wasn't it? Was it like Cincinnati? But that's very rare that he retires from a match. I think that's, like you say, this does him the world of good. Played a 5-setter. I thought that was the warm-up tournament for him. Like everyone else had a warm-up tournament, he had a 5-setter in the first round, and that put him in good stead for the rest of the whole tournament. Thanks to Kecmanovic, he went on to win the title.
Yeah. And last thing I want to say is Zverev, Sinner, as much as it's a closer matchup this time round, it's always the most one-sided thing, really, at the end of the day. I must say 9 matches in a row. Zverev even said it in his post-match. And this is the craziest stat. I don't know if you know this, but Gil Gross shared it earlier.
What's
He
that?
said, with the Wimbledon final in the books, Sinner maintains a streak of 85 consecutive service holds against Zverev.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Uh,
So we can say all this about Zverev closing the gap, and that is a consecutive 85 service holds against him.
and that
If you look at Zverev
yeah.
Alcaraz, it's completely different. I mean, it's quite close.
That was the main thing, isn't it? It's just that he's able to win a tie break against him. But other than that, if you don't go to tie break, you're going to get broken at some point. Sinner sort of impenetrable on his serve. He's going to have to do some work, Sasha Zverev, but he knows what to do some homework on now. He's got a good blueprint of how to win a set. Hold your serve, get to the tie break. Now he needs to focus on the return game. How can he read Jannik Sinner's serve? Because you can't let him beat you 10 times in a row, surely, can you?
I think he will. Not much he can do. But yeah, congratulations to Jannik Sinner. I'm really thrilled and happy that he was able to win. Great day for Italy. I'm sure they're going to be talking about this for many more months to come. probably forever, because Wimbledon is such a famous historic event, and I think to win one of those, another one back to back, is something where you puts you in a different category of sports star. You get the club membership. I think in the world of maybe people who don't watch tennis, people know who won Wimbledon. People will know his name. More people globally, becomes a bigger celebrity, a bigger superstar, and certainly in Italy. So great for that. Great for the country. Great for Noskova as well. I think she's going to grow in confidence and win more big things. And yeah, we'll see you very soon for more tennis action off the grass. We'll be moving off that now.
Yep. Hard court swing over in the US. That's where the football and the World Cup is right now, or the tennis is going to follow. Come on, England. They're facing Argentina on Wednesday.
Is it coming home?
It better bloody be.
All right, like and subscribe, and see you soon.
See you.